Hi. Yeah. All right, what's up, everyone? Normally, I have a whole bunch of notes, a whole bunch of things planned to talk about. However, today, I have one specific thing to talk about. I don't need any notes for this, so hopefully this video helps some of you. Thank you for stopping by for yet another video. I hope 2019 was a good year for you. I hope 2020 is an even better year for you, and I think this video will help your 2020 be even better than maybe it would have been if you hadn't watched this video. Did I really just take credit for you having a good year next year? That's stupid. I'm sorry. So I'm just finishing up a mix. This will be my last day working until after Christmas. 2019 has been crazy. I haven't added up like what all music that I worked on yet. Last year I added up that I worked on 154 different songs, and that was a combination of like I mixed some of them, I produced some of them, I played guitar on some of them, I mastered some of them, but some of them I did all of the above, but overall I worked on 154 songs last year. So last year was crazy. I think I worked on less songs this year because of the move and building the studio, new house, first full calendar year with a baby, with a new kid. A little girl's 15 months old. Basically what I thought would be cool to jump on here and talk about is my goals for 2020 and how I reverse engineer my goals so that way it drastically increases my chance for success. Hopefully you can get something from this on how to reverse engineer your goals so that way hopefully you can have a better 2020 next year. This camera's heavy. Leave me a comment below. Do you guys like this style better? Is this a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more interactive than just putting it on a stand and just letting it roll? Let me know in the comments below. We're gonna put it on a tripod. All right, is that straight? Is this straight? What's happening here? That looks better. We're just gonna roll with that. So one of the things that I figured out a few years ago is how to reverse engineer my goals, and that drastically increases your chances for accomplishing those goals if you figure out the steps in which to take to accomplish those goals. I'm gonna break this down from an artist perspective, because hopefully some of you are artists and hopefully this will help you. This concept of like reverse engineering your goals will apply to everyone. Regardless of what it is that you do, you can do this exact same thing. So you're a new artist. Let's say you want to play Coachella. Big lofty goal. How do you get booked on Coachella? Well, you have to figure out who's booking Coachella. You have to find that person, right? Not really that difficult, honestly. What's the step before that, before finding that person? Well, you have to have enough material available so that way they would consider booking you. So you have to have an EPK, you have to have enough music released so that way they would consider booking you on the festival. 20-minute time slot, you need at least 5, 6, 7 songs actually released. Ideally, you need a couple really great music videos so that way they take you real seriously. You need jaw-dropping photos. You need all of this stuff so that way when you actually get a hold of this person, you have to have something to present them with which for them to look at you as an artist, as a potential person to book on Coachella. You want Coachella, you have to find the person, then you have to have these other things ready in order to present to them. So step before that, well, that means you gotta book the photographer, a really great photographer for jaw-dropping photos. You've gotta book the studio time and the producer so that way you can have all your music produced. You gotta have a web developer, you could probably do it yourself, but you gotta have at least like a one-page EPK that very clearly has all your stuff listed out. Step before that, well, you have to write the songs worthy of recording. And so then, is it co-writes? Do you have to write it yourself? In a nutshell, that's a really condensed version of this, but you can get very, very detailed with this reverse engineering of your goals. This is how I look at literally everything. I figure out exactly what it is that I want. And then I figure out what's the thing that has to happen directly before that. And what's the thing that has to happen directly before that. And what's the thing that has to happen directly before that. It makes it much easier to work your way back to your current situation, because that's really what this is about. Goals are super important. And I think everyone knows that. Like, no one would debate that. But the interesting thing is, how do you figure out how to get from where you are to where you want to go? That's the hard part. So I guess we should just start at goals. You should have goals. You should have very specific goals, and even a couple of them. Maybe make a goal that is just absolutely ridiculous, dream status within your music career. What is the best case scenario that you could hope for 2020? Selling out arenas, getting a Grammy, whatever. Then let's set another realistic goal. What's a really great place that you would just love to be? Maybe for you, it's just paying your bills with whatever you do within music. It could be literally whatever, but set that lofty, ridiculous, ultimate scenario, golden goal, and then set a realistic goal, and then start with the realistic one and work your way backwards in however much detail that you can work your way backwards. Work it all the way back to where you currently are. Now, this takes a little bit of practice. You will have to do this probably quite a few times before you get really good at it. Write these things down. Actually write down these steps and then make it your goal every single day. You get up in the morning and you look at what's the very next step on the way to your goal, and how do you get closer to accomplishing that day. It can be very small, it can be very big, but you do something that gets you one step closer to your goal every single day. Now, since you've not ever been to this place where your goal is, it's real possible that some of these steps will change along the way, and that's okay. It's okay to reevaluate every week, every month, every year, whatever it needs to be. Reevaluate and redo this reverse engineering back to where you are. You're going to learn things along your progress as you grow in whatever it is that you're doing. You're going to learn and you're going to understand more of the details and the nuances of how to get to this place. And so it's totally okay to reevaluate, reverse engineer your goals to back to where you currently are. From your realistic goal to like your best case scenario goal, I think it's okay to just have a couple, for now, just have a couple big main steps, some 2 or 3 steps between your realistic goal and your crazy goal. For a producer, it might be a little something more like you want to record your first #1. And so what do you got to do? Well, you got to find a client that's capable of taking you there. Well, before you get that client, you're going to have some marketing in place and build a lot of relationships with potential clients. And so that way, hopefully that client that's capable of having a #1 would hire you. And so then what do you got to have before that? Well, you got to have your skill set and the gear and the physical space capable of recording that person in a way that is capable of having a #1. And so you can it's the same for whatever it is that you do. You can literally just walk yourself backwards from wherever you want to be to wherever you are. And really, honestly, that has been a massive reason why I have gotten to where I am. I have very specific goals, and then I figure out what to do. I like to break my goals up into categories. So, for instance, my goals for what clients I want to work with and what status I want to reach within the music industry is one goal. And then gear acquirements is another goal. Skill sets is another goal. Family is another goal as well. And so those are really how I break down in categories my goals for 2020. So for me personally, for where I'm personally at within my career, I work with a ton of independent artists, and I absolutely love that. However, there's no shortage of independent artists. I'm actively in communication with dozens and dozens at any point in time, and at any point in time I'm actually working with 6 to 10 artists that are independent at any one time, all the time. So my focus for 2020 is going to be bigger relationships within the industry with promoters, managers, labels, booking agents, everyone else within the industry that I can help pass off my independent clients to help them blow up. I'm really passionate about helping my clients explode, and I literally just posted an Insta story last night talking about how, like, my favorite thing about having a halfway decent following on Instagram is not likes and comments and, ooh, how many people are following me. It's really that I can post an Insta story of a client in the studio, and I can get hundreds of people to go look at that client. And it helps give them some traction a little bit, however much. But I really enjoy that. And so One of my main goals for my career in 2020 is building more relationships with more people within the industry with which I can pass off certain clients to. So hopefully I can help every single client that I have grow their career. Other goal is gear. You know, I have very specific sets of gear that I want. I really need like a 251 style microphone. I need a pair of compressors for acoustic is kind of the next thing, that for mixing is kind of the next thing. As far as family goes, it's a never ending thing. I just want to be a better dad, and I want to be a better husband, and I want to be a better person all the way around. I want to help more people. But anyway, so that's my goals for 2020. I'm super pumped to see where it goes. First full year in the new studio. I'm super pumped to see where YouTube goes. I've only been doing this YouTube thing 3 months, maybe, was when I first posted my serious video, like, okay, I'm gonna take YouTube seriously. I'm almost on track to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Don't think we're gonna quite hit 10K by the end of the year, but it's gonna get there soon. Goals for YouTube is just to continue providing more value to my subscribers and my viewers. I really appreciate you all being here and hanging out all the time. There's some crazy videos in the works. I'm filming my first mini documentary right now that will be here on YouTube for an audio company. Got some studio tours, some other studio tours in the works that are crazy cool. Some of the coolest rooms in the entire world. I'm gonna get a little bit more into gear reviews, like talking about specific pieces of gear. I've had a billion messages of people asking me to make a video on whether or not you should go to school for music. And so, you know, I've spoken at universities before, and I've done that whole thing. So I think that video's in the works. If you have an idea for a video, a topic you want me to cover, drop it in the comments below. Reverse engineer your goals. Figure out where you want to be. What's the step before that, and the step before that, and the step before that, and then write them all down and wake up every day and figure out what step you're gonna take towards your goals and how you're gonna accomplish just the first step and the second step, and make some progress towards it every day. And I promise you, at the end of 2020, you will look back and be like, wow, I've come so far. Ever since I started doing this, that's been my end of year. Right now, it's the end of 2019, and I'm looking back and I'm like, I have come so far from the end of 2018. This past year has been crazy, so I really hope that helps you. I will see you in 2020. Oh, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell, and hit me up on Instagram at Colt Capperrune. Hit up my website, coltcapperrune.com. Hit me up on Facebook. It's just Colt Capperrune. Just hit me up on all the things. Thank you guys. I'll see you in 2020.